All right, when the prophet begins to speak like this, there are things he must expect. He must expect attack from the pit of hell. Anyone that stands for righteousness will be fought. He will be offered bribe. And if he takes his stand, the enemy will play dirty with him to tarnish his image. But if you want to be relevant as God's voice, you must take your stand. And it is in taking your stand that the counsel of Jehovah will stand.
Welcome back. That was Bishop Feyi Daniels. He is a Christian cleric, self-acclaimed prophet. He has been sentenced to life imprisonment. You might be wondering, did he RIP anybody? No, not at all. What he actually did is rape some of his church members and even a junior pastor. Well, we will be listening and watching the pastor being handcuffed and the consequence of this judgment, and also we'll also be revisiting some of these clerics, dead and alive, like the late prophet of the Synagogue Church of All Nations that was also accused of setting, although evidence and proof and videos of it has not been produced by anybody yet. Countless pastors, clerics, Islamic clerics, religious clerics, and people who occupy positions that matter in this world, they have done terrible things to people. But why is this man sentenced to life imprisonment? That is what you might want to ask. Like, really? Is that person an underage? Let us watch and we will be talking more. Before we proceed, like and share, tap on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell.
Justice Ramon Oshodi said he believed the testimony of the first complainant, as well as other witnesses who gave direct evidence, which weren't contradicted at any point, despite the defendant's denials. But the judge acquitted the defendant of the second count of raping another church member at his home in 2020. The court said the prosecution fails to prove the elements of the use of force, fear of harm by the complainant, and misrepresentation by the defendants to establish guilt beyond all reasonable doubt.
The court cannot, for Christmas, it cannot dash out judgments, it cannot dash out sentencing. If the court, looking at the value of the evidence before it, has said that the first complainant was a victim, was actually raped by the convict, yes, then the court is right in his wisdom.
This is to send a stern warning to every one of you who think that you can manipulate vulnerable women and girls in the name of the Lord. Survivors will get justice. You will find yourself in a place where you will not be able to escape one day. You can continue to fool everybody, but you will not be able to fool all the people all the time.
A lot of men do these crimes. A lot of pastors, big men, they do this. But it is about the survivors speaking up. So this has emboldened everybody who is a survivor of sexual assault.
Defense counsel Adebayo Adigbite had urged the court to use his discretion in sentencing, but lead prosecutor Babajide Boye asked that he be sentenced as charged. The court said the 43-year-old cleric, who didn't have regard for truth, was a risk to the society and should spend the rest of his life behind bars.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Now, there are those who are saying this is too stiff. Like, this judgment is too stiff. How can you sentence him to life imprisonment for this? Now, are these women underage? They are not really underage. They are grown-up ladies, but he took advantage of them if he really did it. The court has sentenced him, so we want to believe that he really did these things. Pastors or religious clerics, in general, they have a lot of members who believe so much in them. In fact, some people believe more in them than God. These pastors, these religious clerics have positioned themselves in such a way that you see them as God. Some of them will say, put my picture in your house. Put it as a portrait in your house, says in your offices, and they expect to be respected at all times. They expect you to honor them at all times. And they have this new pattern. Spiritual father, spiritual mother, spiritual daughter, spiritual son. Now, when you attribute that title to anyone, it means you can be manipulated very easily. Once you go to them and you request for prayers, or you are a member of their church, the next thing they want to impose on you is spiritual son or spiritual daughter. Imagine you said someone didn't come to a church meeting. You invited that person home to be punished. She came to your house and you told her to take off her clothes. Now, she probably might not want to take off her clothes. Maybe she tried to escape, but the doors are locked. And she knows that this particular environment that I am, even if I scream from morning till night, there is nobody that will come to my aid. So it is better that I stay cool, calm, so that this man will not take me out, meaning RIP me. I read some of the statements she gave back in those years, because this case started as far back as 2022. 2022 was when she reported this. The accusation and the rape actually happened, I think, sometimes 2020. And she reported after 2 years or thereabout, which maybe she took time to heal, or she didn't know who to tell. Now, there was a case back then in those years too of a man called Fato Imbo. He's also a pastor. But the lady came after so many years. I mean, the case is kind of too cold for evidence to be sought or looked into. She did try her best, but none of this came to light at the end of the day. The case went on and on for a long time, and people didn't really say much at the end of the day. Finally, there was a protest, like it was serious. There was a serious protest, and but everything died down somehow. Everything died down. Maybe because God forgave him, or because he knew people. Whatever it is that happened, or because the case was too cold to be investigated. Like, this person accused you of this. Anyone can accuse anyone of anything. I know the court operates with witnesses. Anybody can be bought. Like, it's true. It happened. So why didn't you people report? We were young then. And he will bring his defense and say it's a lie. There is nothing like that. And he will have to prove to the court why such a person did this and that. So there were a lot of things that, there were a lot of holes that were dug into that case. Like, but you went to perform in the church of this person, the husband, the now husband of the lady, but you were part of this, you were part of that. So how come you kept on? And questions were asked, and that case could not fly. It died. It died just like that. The same accusation has been put on the late prophet of the Synagogue Church of All Nations. They said he did this, he did that, he did these things, he did this, he did that, he did this, he did that. You see? So, I mean, these things do happen, and many of them will hide under that religious cloak. It is in the Roman Catholic Church. It is in many establishments, many religious establishments and organizations. It is there. They do these things. So this pastor has been sentenced and is going to plead. I'm very sure he's going to say, no, I didn't do it. It's not true what they said. They all set me up, blah, blah, blah. But he was given the stiffest punishment, life imprisonment. They say he's going to serve it concurrently, Well, let us see what is going to become of it. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. At the end of the day, he's going to, maybe one day someone will come out and prophesy something about it. Someone will come out and say, oh, I was sent to the prison. Like how they have Bible verses that they will manipulate to their own, and claim that this is what is this. This is just a lesson. That's the nutshell of it. It's a lesson to men who call themselves pastors or religious leaders or clerics. If you know truly that this could happen to me, then make sure that you don't have women as your PA. You don't have women running around you in such a way. Anytime you are to speak or interview or cancel, make sure a woman is there or your wife is there. That's how it works. That's how it works. If not, you might be tempted. 1. 2, someone can set you up just to finish and ridicule and end you. That's the truth. He said he didn't do it. He said only one, the other two, they joined forces against, regardless. Oh, I did it when I was blind. I did it when it was a sin. Oh, she manipulated me. Oh, she seduced me. It is true. All of these things. These are the dangers. These are the dangers. You have a church, you notice there is a lady, somehow she's so seductive and you're having problems, sleepless night. It's like you must just bench this one. This one, I must just lay with her. Come out in front of the church. Tell members to point fingers at you and pray for you. Say, please pray for me. There's nobody that is above prayer. Tell them to pray for you so that spirit expose the wicked, evil seductress. Say, please pray for me so that you don't get into this trap. But some of them are, since they call themselves spiritual father, how can spiritual sons and daughters pray for their spiritual father? They are too proud. They won't say, please pray for me. This is happening to me. There is a problem I'm facing right now. Just point your fingers at me. Even if you don't want to mention it, if you are too proud, say, pray for me. And make sure that lady, I don't know, do something about it. Do something about it. What do you think about this one? Do you think that the punishment is too stiff? Like, too severe? Drop it in comment section.